Hey everyone, this is Justin Chamness, and welcome to Wednesday Role Play Sales and Marketing. This is Guts Practice Party. Do you have the guts? Do you have the balls to make the calls? All right, this is where you this is where you grow the balls to make the calls right here. And you know what I find is really the most important part of this, besides you just bringing you to the table, when it comes to learning how to have great phone calls, it's not just you having a certain je ne sais quoi. Okay. I don't think it takes that really. In fact, I think some of the best phone callers out there are folks that are introverts. I think introverts probably make the best phone callers, really, ultimately, if they're able to crack the code. And what do I mean by that? Is really not really a code, but a model. Okay, you got to have a model. If you're not going in the front door with a model in mind of what to say and what to do when you're in the phone call situation, then you're just going to be winging it. You're going to be saying a little. Here's what I find a lot of salespeople do, and real estate investors, they say a little bit. Oh, I heard Brent Daniels say this, and I heard Pace Morby say this, and then I heard Justin say this, and Claude said this other thing, and what you end up with at the end of the conversation is a hodgepodge of all your favorite classic YouTube channels, and and you don't have any real model. Okay, you don't have like a real program to follow, a process. Um, what's called the gut staircase. Okay, step one, step two, step three. All right, you don't have that, and so, or what you have is you think you have that, but it's a hodgepodge of a couple things, like maybe Jordan Belfort's straight line, and maybe a little bit of the Sandler Institute's, you know, can't teach a kid to ride a bike at a seminar. Maybe it's a little bit of both of those, and it's kind of and sometimes, so I think having a great model is really probably maybe the most important factor in being a great salesperson. Not just having some special quality, okay, because that's not really where it is. It's learning a model, a process, a steps, one, two, three. It's good to see folks popping in here. And I was feeling lonely there for a moment. Thanks for thanks for popping in here. It's good to see Eric, and it's good to see Joseph. Abigail, it's nice to meet you. I don't know if I've ever met you before. I'm Justin Chamness. It's good to see Perez. And I will probably have a few other people pop in here too. I already talked to Uncle Claude this morning. Is he really my uncle? No, he's not. He said one time when I first met him that sometimes people call him Uncle Claude. And I think he was kidding, but that's like one of those things that just stuck in my brain, and I've called him Uncle Claude ever since. So no relation really. He's probably glad to hear me finally come out publicly and say that he's not related to me. No, not related, but I am very grateful for Uncle Claude. He has taught me a lot and is still teaching me a lot to this day. Good to see everybody. What do you guys want to talk about today? Today is Role Play Wednesday. We're gonna take it easy, and we're just real informal here. And let's role play what you guys want to role play. Okay, Eric and Joseph and Abigail and Perez. So if you guys want to role, I'm not an expert. Okay, I am just another student of the guts model. Okay, just like you guys. So I'm gonna probably, have a good idea here and there, and then maybe not know what to do in some cases too. So that's why we have Role Play Wednesday practice. So this is how I got as good as I am, is by practicing. So um, I know that that's probably why you're here. So does anybody have anything they want to role play right off the bat that maybe comes to mind? Anybody here in the Zoom room? How are you? Maybe that's a starting question. How are you? Anybody have anything they want to share? Welcome. No, you guys just want to be a real quiet and watch me. What's going on? All right. Is everybody's microphones broken? Eric, how are you? Yeah, his microphone is broken. No, there it is.
No, I was fixed. Miraculously, it works.
That's great. Good to see you, dude. How are you?
Pleasure. I've been good. How have you been?
Not bad. So what industry are you in? What's your work? What kind of line of work are you in that sales
Uh,
applies to?
Real estate investment. I
Mm,
did wholesaling to hedge funds during the bull market. That's kind of how I got into it. I'm a carpenter by
nice.
trade. I just ran my first scrape last week, uh, as for a
Great.
video that I watched of yours, and
Wow.
the scrape came back great. And then I sent out 150 texts, and I got back 86 replies.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty
been
wild,
keeping
huh?
me busy the past 2 days. I don't know if it's always like that, but I used a 5 text message system, and I'm trying to get into lease purchase.
So, I don't know if you want to let the cat out of the bag or anything, but are you using the message I recommend or something similar, or what's your outbound message say since you got such a incredible return rate?
I um I'm part of Launch Your Leads, and I had them help me set it up. And what I did, I with Brandon and you had discussed having a 5 text message system, part of the rule of 5. And I asked you once upon a time, and I asked Brandon about these messages, and I just kind of plugged them in, and I adapted myself like, hi, I'm not a real estate agent. I'm sure you get a lot of those, but I'm looking for properties where you consider a lease option or a cash offer, so on and so forth, et cetera, et cetera. And I did use OpenAI Chat GPT, like you showed me how to use about 5 weeks ago,
Great.
and kind of modified all that.
Great. Created some unique messages for yourself using Chat GPT in seconds. In seconds. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Rewrite this text message 10 different ways.
Yes,
Uh,
sir. Thank you very much.
there it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So what was it? You sent out 100 and what? 150 or what? 180? What?
150 text messages. I got back 1,123 results
Wow.
off Zillow.
Great. Great.
That took a while to figure out how to
Yeah.
learn, but I got it. And,
Yeah. Great.
yeah.
Well, good. Good. Yeah, it's you said you don't know if it's always like this. It pretty much is lately always like this. Yes. Maybe not every single day, but it's like this a lot lately. Yeah, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it, like the McDonald's kid. It's great. It's my happy meal. So, well, that's good, man. Good to hear that. So now the name of the game you got leads is conversion, right? So
Oh, that's rough.
you gotta you gotta talk to him about you gotta talk to him about doing the deal with you. Right? You send them a text, they respond favorably. Now you got a lead. You got to talk to them about doing the deal. So what do you do when you get on the phone with one of these leads? What's the very first thing that you say? Do you want to role play that, Eric? Do you have something you've been saying recently to leads when you get on the phone immediately? The first thing. What's the first
I
thing you
am
do?
following your lead and say, I'm sorry, I'm out of the office. I've been texting a few people. Can you tell me what address we're talking about?
Oh, okay. All right. So if you don't know what address it is, that's a great place to start. Exactly.
Um, or whatever it is that I say, I get them talking first. I do not start with a BS conversation like, how you doing? It's straight and to the point of,
Right.
yes.
Go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, man. I was just agreeing with you.
No, that's it. I don't have anything set in place. I'm still trying to feel it out.
Okay, well, I think you nailed it right on the head, man. Right there, boom. Really, you don't want to do any what you said BS conversation starters like the normal icebreakers. It's so cringy now, Mister and Miss Salesperson, investor. Don't do it. Don't catch yourself doing it when you call a prospect. Hey, how you doing? What's the weather like in Georgia? Okay, great. Oh, wonderful. You guys got plans for the weekend? Okay, don't do it. It's cringy. It's cringy. Don't do it no more. What do you do? Well, if you have a model, okay, like G.U.T.S, if you have a model, a staircase, a steps, a process, a staircase like the G.U.T.S staircase, step one, step two, step three. Step one dictates that you do this. You set the
Roadmap.
roadmap. Right, right. Roadmap. Now, part of this is, human courtesy and letting folks know who you are. Okay. That's okay. I'm just going to assume that you're going to give people the benefit of the doubt and letting them know who you are. But right after that, you got to set the roadmap. Okay. If you don't set the roadmap, what happens? Somebody, anybody. If I don't set the roadmap, what risk am I taking? Well, what may happen to me in my call here? If I don't set the roadmap right away, what happens next?
You're going to get lost and lose control of the conversation.
I have not set an objective in their minds for the reason and the purpose of this call, and they are going to do their best to hijack it. They are pirates. They want to hijack my conversation, right? And my job is to not let them. And so right off the bat, hey, my name is Justin, and this is what I want to talk about today. Right? So here's what it ends up sounding like in my lease purchase business. Hey, my name is Justin. I'm the real estate and I'm the real estate investor. Sometimes I'll say the landlord investor. Hi, my name is Justin. I'm the landlord investor that's been texting you about leasing the property and then purchasing it within a 12 to 18 month window. Does that ring a bell? All I'm doing is introducing myself. Okay. When he says, yeah, that rings a bell with me. Sure. I say, great. I wanted to call today because I want to talk about making an offer. Roadmap time, roadmap. Now I'm going to continue on with the conversation and get permission to ask questions. I'm going to finish the agenda section here by giving them permission to ask me questions. And then I'm going to give them permission to fire me if it's not a good fit. That is the entire way to start a conversation using the G.U.T.S model. Uncle Claude, what do you have to say about this? Uncle Claude, it's good to see you. You're back from a run already. I was talking to you. You were on a run. You're already back, man. You didn't even break a sweat. We did Justin, 3 miles together. You didn't even break a sweat. Look at me. I'm exhausted.
5. Justin and I did 3 miles together out of my 5-mile run this morning. Justin, you had me at 10 minutes ago when you said McDonald's, so I'm hungry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Is breakfast still open? They got that breakfast burrito meal. It's so delicious.
Oh God, yeah.
It's like dog treats for humans.
I'm in San Diego. We have these food trucks that make these. They're the size of logs you put in the fireplace. That's what their breakfast burritos look like. Am I making everyone hungry like I always do?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love what you said in the very beginning when you were holding up your little cards there.
Yeah.
I'd like to make you an offer. The roadmap.
Yeah.
Roadmap. The first thing I'm if the property's still available, I'd like to make you an offer. We're in the attention business. Okay. Right. And if we're doing the same tired, boring, scripted words, we're going to get a very quick rejection. And that won't make us any money or be any fun.
Yeah.
So I love that you open up. I'd like to make you an offer today.
Yeah.
I think they don't hear that word offer in the first 15 seconds. In most phone calls. So we're in the attention. How do we get someone's attention? Whether it's for leads or we're on the phone, we want to get them to listen and participate. And so when you say, I'd like to make you an offer today, now they don't have to accept the offer. but at least the premise that there's a pending offer once I get enough information from them, or maybe not.
Mhm.
Say,
Mhm.
maybe you'll switch to another gear or another way to do business.
Mhm.
But Justin and I had a great conversation this morning. Tell them what what's the simple thing we talked about this morning, Justin? Just talking to people every day
Correct,
and
right.
making offer. I make offers every day.
Every single day.
Yeah,
Every single day.
yeah, it's right. It's right there.
There it is. The rule of five. 5 5 5 5 5. Hey, do
Yeah.
you guys remember that movie where the robot was like five alive? Remember Short Circuit back in the 1990s or 80s? What was
Wow, you are older than me. Wow.
25.
almost. Almost. All right. Yeah, the rule of five. Five alive.
Yeah, I love the way you set it up though. The roadmap. What's the first thing you say on the phone? Don't say, "Hey, can I have a minute of your time?" Or "Are you busy
Right.
now?" I go, "Oh my gosh."
Right. It's so cringy now. You got to set, how important is it really to set the roadmap? And we kind of, I find that we are tempted to skip over this because it's easier to let your guard down and not set the roadmap and start the conversation with one of these pre-programmed BS conversation starting pieces. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. What are you guys up to this weekend? Whatever it is, whatever it is, they already know that this is a stranger to them other than what communications maybe you've had through via text or email or what have you. So I find getting on the phone, setting the roadmap is huge. Setting the roadmap. Good to see Brandon here too. Brandon popped in. So what's great about the staircase, everybody, is that if you have a staircase or a model like the G.U.T.S model, with steps 1, 2, and 3. Can anybody tell me what the 3 staircase steps are in the G.U.T.S model? Can anyone tell me what those are? This is a pop quiz. Anyone? What are the titles or the names of the 3 steps of the G.U.T.S model?
AGC.
Okay. Yep. What is the A stand for?
Agenda.
Okay. What's the second one?
Qualification.
Qualification. Okay, so we're going to qualify, and then we're going to decide on a scale of 1 to 10 whether or not we think this person is a prospect or not, right? And then
Yeah.
we're going to go into the third section or the third step, which is the closing. Right? Agenda, qualification, closing. The agenda is consists of the introduction and a roadmap, getting permission to ask questions and giving permission to ask questions, and then giving them permission to fire you. Okay. If it's not a good fit, just tell me no. Okay. So I want to focus on this today a little bit because what I want you to understand is now that you have the foundational steps, you can plug and play anything into this model. Okay. So we just talked about it being used.
Hey,
Yeah, go ahead,
hey,
Brandon.
Justin, I was just going to say I love that worksheet you put together. I love how you have the quotient, the scale 1 to 10 on the end, and all the different parts of the roadmap there. That's amazing. Is that a document you mind sharing?
I don't mind sharing that at all. In fact, I'll put it in the chat room here for folks in the Zoom room, and I'm happy to share it with you, Brandon, on Zoom or social media or wherever you
That's
prefer.
awesome.
Yep. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's really just all Claude's information. I just put it down on a 1-pager so my brain can digest it. Like my brain likes to, like I'm one of those people that needs to kind of see it all in 1 page, or I'm not all there yet, and and so that's why I did this, and I thought maybe the rest of you would enjoy it too, and so thank you for saying that. Yeah, these are the 3 steps. The 3 steps are the agenda, the qualification, and the closing. So we're talking about the agenda right now, the roadmap, setting the roadmap. So now once you understand this, though, you can do it in any way, for any industry, because this is a model. Okay, this is a sales model. So it's important to not confuse this model with other models. Okay, I'm just going to throw that out there. So don't take a little bit of Jordan Belfort's model and mix it with somebody else's model and then get mad at Jordan Belfort because it didn't work. Okay, that's my point. All right. Don't do the same thing with G.U.T.S here. All right. So as the model exists, though, it has these three parts, these three steps. The first one is the agenda where we set the roadmap. So now that I understand that, I can take this inter-industry. I should be able to sell anything doing the same things because this model should work for every product or service I have, no matter what it is. Do you agree? Okay. Hopefully you agree because you're here. You paid money to be here. I think you probably agree. I'm guessing. All right. So who else? We just heard somebody do the agenda roadmap in lease purchase. Who in here's got another industry that we could plug and play with the same process, the same model? Anybody got a different industry, a different sales, service, or product? Let's play around with the model. Let's play around with the model. That's how you get great. Did you play with the model? All right. Anybody got another one? Everybody in here in this room is in real estate in the lease purchase business. Everybody. You guys are hard on me today.
I mean,
All right. All right. So let's just make up one then. Okay. Let's make up one. Let's say we are a wholesale ice cream. I like ice cream. Like these? What are they called? The bomb pops. You know, let's say bomb pops. Do you know what a bomb pop is? It's like colored like the red, white, and blue, like the United States. And I don't know. It's big. If you know what a bomb pop is, you know you love it. If you don't, you know you want one. You know they're that good. All right. So let's say you're a wholesale bomb pop salesman. And you work for a big wholesale ice cream distributor. All right. Let's just throw that in there. And then when you woke up this morning, you didn't think you was going to be selling ice cream for a wholesale bomb pop distributor, did you? Well, today you are. So now we're going to use the model to create a scenario where we're opening a conversation. Okay? Who wants to try? Who wants to try? We're gonna do a roadmap. We're gonna ask for permission to ask questions. We're gonna grant them permission to ask questions, and then we're gonna give them permission to tell us no. And you're gonna sell me 10,000 bomb pops, you're gonna sell me a whole pallet full for my ice cream shop business. Okay, call me on the phone. I'm the ice cream shop owner. Who wants to be the caller? You work for the distributor. You're selling a pallet of bomb pops, and I'm the ice cream shop owner. Call me. I'm waiting. Anybody want to volunteer? Anybody wants to volunteer? You guys got to get better at this. You're gonna practice. Nobody? You're gonna sell me a pallet of ice cream bomb pops. Okay. I promise you, if you go through these types of exercises and you learn these exercises well, and you can go enter industry because you have mastered the model, people will look at you like you're some kind of wizard.
You're just going to have to call on one of these bomb pop salespeople. I don't know, man. Everyone's getting nervous or scared or chicken.
I don't know, man. The distributor's going to flat go out of business because all of the salespeople.
Man, we got to hurry up and sell this stuff or it melts on us.
I'm sitting over here at the ice cream shop. I'm getting worried about my inventory. The shit's getting down low, man. And 4th of July is coming up. School's about to let out. I need a whole I got to restock my freezer full of bomb pops. I'm ready to do something. I just need somebody to call me and set the agenda. Anybody?
ring, ring.
Hey, Justin. Hey, Justin, you got a second? I just wanted to see if you're still in the market for some bomb pops.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Who am I talking to?
Yeah, this is Brandon. I just got a couple quick questions for you. Is it okay if I ask you a couple of questions?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. And hopefully at the end of the conversation, I can sell you a big pallet of bomb pops at one of the best prices you ever got. If not, you can tell me no. Is that fair enough?
Boom, there you go. Perfect. Okay.
All right.
Now, how you notice how? Thank you, Brandon. You notice how relaxed and easygoing the roadmap was set there. But he did. You know, hey, he introduced himself in such a way that I understood the conversation was going to be about bomb pops. Okay. All right. Why are salespeople ashamed to say who they are and they want to beat around the bush? That's crazy. Okay. I want to know right away, don't you? I want to know right away if I'm getting on the phone with this person and this person is not the decision maker, doesn't have time, doesn't have the enough care to want to even talk to me about this topic. Maybe they're not interested. Maybe they already sold somewhere else or bought something else. Maybe the deal is already closed. I want to know right away, don't you? So this is what the roadmap does. Hey, Mr. Ice Cream Owner, was that Perez that was chiming in there? Perez, were you going to role play with me too?
Yeah, I will. I'll role play with
All right. Well, I'm the ice cream shop owner, and I want you to call and sell me a whole pallet full of bomb pops. Okay.
you. Okay, ring ring.
Yep. Hello. This is ABC Ice Cream Shop. How can I help you?
Oh, I was just calling. I was trying to see how business going with the on the ice cream. I got some blow pops. I was trying to sell y'all guys, and I was just wondering, did you have time for me to ask you a couple questions? You asked me a couple questions, and we could see could we do business with these blow pops I'm trying to sell you.
Yeah, great. Okay, great. I felt like it was a little rusty there at first, but man, yeah. Thanks for popping in here, dude. Just on the fly like that. You so brave. You stepped up to the plate and you swung and you connected, man. You did. You really hit that ball out of the park because you set a roadmap with me. You told me why you were calling, okay? You told me that you were, I'm sorry, you were going to ask permission to get questions. Let me ask you some questions, and you were going to let me fire you if it wasn't a good fit. That's all really good ways to start a conversation. So you see how the model is interactive. Like you can use the model for anything. Let's pick another industry and role play that real quick, and then we'll come back to real estate. Okay, let's pick another industry. Let's assume I'm selling car warranties. Uh-oh. Right? That's a bad one. Which one do we want to sell? We want to sell something else. We don't want to sell car warranties. Somebody give me an idea. Anybody got an idea? Nobody wants
Hey,
to
hey,
buy anything
Justin. Hey,
today? Yeah.
Justin. Hey,
Yeah,
Justin.
go ahead.
I've been trying to reach you about your extended car warranty.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, no. See, that's a horrible intro, right? Is that what we've heard 1,000 times?
Mhm. That is that what every car warranty salesperson says when they accidentally get you on the phone?
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Oh my gosh, Justin, it's so good. Finally, hey, how you been?
I'm okay. Who is this?
It's Brandon. It's Brandon. We talked a few months ago. And I wanted to give you this call because man, this is so important. I know you got that nice Subaru Legacy you've been driving around,
Yes.
right? Okay. By the way, how's that been treating you? That is that a sweet car or what?
It's a nice one. I like it, man. It's my favorite. It's my baby.
Oh, cool. Hey, well, I just got a couple quick questions if you got a minute. And here's the thing is I just need to ask you a couple quick questions because I don't even know if you'll qualify for this. It's a special option on your Subaru to keep it running perfect. You have a couple minutes I can ask you a few questions?
Yes.
Great. And by the way, at the end of the conversation, if it's not a good fit for us or it doesn't qualify, I'm going to tell you it's not going to qualify. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's not a good fit for you, I want you to let me know that you can fire me and tell me no. Is that fair enough?
Yes. Yes.
All
Yes. That's
right.
fine.
Perfect.
Okay.
Boom.
So, good job. Thank you.
Thanks.
It's good to see Jessica. It's good to see. Hey, how's the young man doing? It's good to see him too. I forgot his
He's
name.
doing great, little Alexander. Yes, so
Alexander.
He has to wear this little helmet for a couple months to straighten out his head and he's got a little bit of a neck. He tilts his head one way, so
Yeah.
got his little spaceship helmet on right now.
Well, my mom probably should have put one of those on me because I got this really big flat spot back here. My hair just doesn't look right, you know. Like if I if I ever go bald, you guys are gonna be like, "Oh, what happened to him?"
Oh,
So it's
funny.
good to see you. Good to see both of you. And
Yeah, good seeing you guys.
thank you for role playing that, Brandon. Anybody want to role play being a car warranty salesperson? Well, how can we do this and just follow the roadmap real close? I mean, follow the staircase real closely. Hey, my name is Justin, and I'm responding to Mr. John Doe here, a request online about car warranty information. So I wanted to call and talk to you about protecting your most important baby, whatever. Okay, you see what I'm doing? I'm setting a roadmap here. So let's assume this is somebody that wants to talk. Okay, so they applied online. All right, so it doesn't matter. The point here is that it doesn't matter what industry, we can set a roadmap. We can get permission to ask questions. We can give them permission to ask us questions, and we can always give them permission to fire us. Now, real quick, while we're here, we're talking about roadmap. We've talked about that so far, but let's talk about getting permission to ask questions. Why is this important? Anyone?
Privacy. For
Okay.
privacy.
Okay. Does it have to do with privacy? Getting permission to ask questions? Maybe so they don't feel like we're pushy into their personal business. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
And courtesy as well.
All right.
We're building a foundation on building a bond with them.
Okay, building a bond, building rapport. I think it is a step in that direction for sure. I think really, is anyone else have a comment? Joseph, what do you think, bud? We ain't heard from you today. It's good seeing you.
I believe if somebody would ask me permission to ask me a question, it would be like he is not going to push me. He is not going to push me to the end. Okay, so he would like to talk and create conversation. And
Okay.
this is very nice from him to ask me this permission, and I have no problem. Otherwise, I would think, why he's asking me?
Right.
Why is that?
Exactly. Yeah. Good point. And then after you get permission to ask questions, you give permission for them to ask you questions. Why is that important? Why is it important to give them permission to ask you questions? Because isn't that
Does that put
scary?
them on the same plane?
Yeah. Yeah. It sets it up for an adult to an adult type interaction. Very adult interaction. I'll ask you some, you can ask me some. Okay. There is an open lane of communication both directions on this bridge. Okay. And that's important, I think, one, for the conversation's sake, but also, how does that make you feel as a prospect when a salesperson says, hey, listen, we're going to spend a few minutes here. Watch me set the roadmap. Hey, listen, we're going to spend a few minutes here talking about making an offer on your property. And I want to let you know that I'd like to ask you a few questions, if that's okay. And you can ask me some questions too. What does that feel like to a prospect? Somebody tell me. Does that create an emotional quotient there somewhere, somehow, or does that set the tone for an emotional reaction?
Yes.
Yes.
How is that? Anybody want to expound on that at all?
Like you're having an open two-way conversation with two adults that are being respectful to each other.
Mhm.
Instead of a stranger on the other end of the phone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Building a
Right.
connection.
Right. And this also sets the conversation up for a doctor-patient type
Yeah.
feeling.
Hmm.
Doesn't that sound like a doctor? Now, I'm going to ask you a few questions,
Hmm.
okay? And you can ask me some too, okay?
Mhm.
And by the end of this conversation, I will make an offer to you for a prescription
Yeah.
that should address the issues that we discussed.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
start. Where does it hurt?
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right in the wallet.
Exactly.
Yes.
In the wallet. That's where it hurts. Bingo. So a doctor can literally use the guts agenda. And I think probably would be better off to use a model like guts, a doctor would, or a dentist or a lawyer that has to sell his own, products and services for his own practices. All these professionals, they need a model, something they can hang the words on, something to give them the next step of what to say, what to do.
Yeah.
So, but this is a great adult doctor patient type setup here. Introduction. Yes. Hi, my name is Dr. Chamness. I'm an orthopedic surgeon. Okay. My name is Dr. Chamness. I'm an orthopedic surgeon. I'm here to see you today to talk about. It looks like we're here to talk about blah blah. Okay. I don't know, what does an orthopedic surgeon do? I don't know. It just popped in my head.
You're not an orthopedic surgeon, but you did stay in a Holiday Inn Express last night.
There you go.
They do spinal surgery, so you don't want to mess with that.
All right. So if I'm one of those, I'm definitely I'm gonna need to ask you some questions.
Definitely.
Is that okay? And you know what? You probably have some questions for me too. And you know what? We're gonna decide what the next steps for you are, and we want to see what's the best fit for you. Okay. Now, what does that mean? Does that mean financially, in every way? If I'm not a good option for you, you should fire me. What does that statement say to a prospect? Would you give the permission to get them off the hook? Isn't that what it is? Are you giving them permission to get off the hook right off the bat?
Yes.
Why is that? Why does that seem so counterintuitive? Is that really what I want to do as a salesperson? Is right off the bat tell them, hey, it's okay if you want to tell me no at any time. At any time, buddy. Interrupt me. Fire me if this is not a good fit. Is that counterintuitive? Why is this okay? Can someone tell me, why do we do this?
It releases pressure.
This is pressure. Okay, can you want to expound on that, or does anybody want to expound on that?
Well, basically, you don't have to waste anybody's time. It sort of tells them, hey, if this is not going to fit, let's just end it and not waste each other's time. So
Right.
that kind of gives them an out if they really feel like they don't want to deal with you.
That's right. That's right. An out, if they don't want to deal with you, they could say no. So it releases that pressure. The wall can come down a little bit. But it also does something else deeper for us. Can anyone see? There's so much in the model, okay? And I mean that it's so important that if you're gonna spend the money to learn guts, you should memorize the steps in the model, okay? Because this whole permission to fire people, which belongs here, it's not on the actual chart for some reason. It should be. Permission to fire does something else for us besides just bring the wall down. What does it do? Does anybody have anything they want to say? Maybe.
Yeah. Hey, hey, how's it going, Justin?
Good. Good
It's
to see you.
it'll keep you from wasting your time with that
True.
person that's not motivated enough to sell to you. So
Mm-hmm.
you won't waste their time or your time, more importantly, your time. Because you get burnt
Right.
out making phone calls, you being on the phone with people that's not motivated.
Mm-hmm. And that's horrible being on the phone with unmotivated people. Okay. I agree, man.
You know,
100%.
so if
Well
they're not
said.
motivated, I don't want to waste my time with them. They're not
E-
motivated. I'm going to the next
Exactly.
call.
Exactly. What else does this do? Does anyone else have an idea? What else does the giving them permission to say no, or permission to fire you, or permission to just bail out of this conversation whenever this isn't a good fit? However you want to word it, what else does this do for you as a professional salesperson? Anybody else have an idea?
You get off the phone with them.
Well, yeah. Okay. But this comes into play. You will use this again later in the conversation. Where at? Does anyone know?
When you're getting ready to close the deal.
Yes. Perfect. Yes, man. Why? Can you tell us why?
Because you still want to make sure, even at the end, that they're still serious and that they really want to do business that day or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anybody else? Okay. At the end of the conversation, there's going to be what? Let me show the screen again so you can see the very last step here. Usually, in all of these calls, is objections, questions, and stalls coming from the prospect. And when you get the classic, I want to think about it. Or, well, I don't know. I just need some time to talk it over with blah, 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 blah. And you really aren't sure what the real objections are.
Don't hurt you.
Okay? Because they're throwing smoke screens at the end of the call. It's been going so good. I don't get it. And now all of a sudden they just need time to think about it and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to reach back into my bag and I'm going to pull out the fact that they said that I told them that they could fire me. And I'm going to say, listen, Mr. Homeowner, Mr. Prospect, you know what? Sometimes folks are just nice and they don't want to just say no. Is this
Pretty nice.
is this not a fit for you? And would you really just prefer to fire me? You remember I told you it's okay if you want to fire me. What happens in that at the end of a conversation with a semi interested prospect?
Hurting. Should we rub them? Rub your gums?
What do we do with a semi-interested prospect? What happens when you say this at the end of the conversation? When you say, "Hey, remember I gave you permission to fire me. Is this not a good fit?" You can just tell me no. And this is the very end. I'm trying to close. I'm desperately trying to close them, and I bring this back out of my bag. What does that do
Is
to
it
the
a
prospect?
takeaway?
It's a takeaway. It's a takeaway. What does it cause the prospect that's interested to do to me?
React by emotion.
Oh no. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it's not a good fit. I'm just saying I have this. This is really what it is. I don't have the full amount tonight. It helps me isolate down to what really is the problem at the end of the call. Okay. So this whole permission to fire me, it's not just to be sweet and nice and build rapport. It does all of those things, but it also is one of your most powerful secret weapons in the GUTS model. Is to give them permission to say no at the very beginning of the call, because at the end of the call, you are going to use it to push them to make a quality decision now. Does that make sense, everybody? Isn't that really powerful when you connect the dots that way? And maybe you haven't seen G.U.T.S, the model like that before. I love being a student of the G.U.T.S model, and I've spent countless hours practicing it and studying it and soaking it into my brain and making connections here and there in this way or another and switching it around and moving the parts. And I can tell you, this is one of the most beautiful parts of the G.U.T.S model that I've ever seen. That is that this permission to fire me comes into play so nicely when your butt gets in trouble later. Okay. Here's another reason why it comes in handy. Okay. Later in the conversation, you slip up and you say something silly, or you say something wrong, or maybe you didn't. And the homeowner or the prospect says, you know what? I'm not sure I even understand this whole leasing and purchasing thing. Why don't you just go down to the bank and get the money? I mean, as far as I know, I don't even know you. This could be a scam. Have you ever had a prospect tell you that? I have.
Yeah.
Here's what you go back to. You reach back in your bag and you pull out that card and you say, well, but you remember when I started talking to you, I gave you permission to fire me. Have I done something that's offended you, or have I said something wrong? And would you like to just fire me? Or can we talk about what's important to you, because I'd like to make this right? Man, is that good or what? That's good. And see, all of that is just the foundational business building blocks of that G.U.T.S model. And I'm just using them in a way that sounds smooth, but it's really just the basics. It's just the permission to fire me. I'm using it later in the conversation. All right. So very huge. Don't underestimate the power of permission to fire me. All right. I love role playing the agenda, and you guys are probably sick of it because I role play the agenda with you a lot on Wednesdays that I do the role play. And the reason why I do that is because I believe that if you can't set the agenda properly, then you will not have a successful phone call. Okay. You have to. Does anybody here play golf? Anybody a golfer? Or
Yeah.
okay, I'm more like a goofer, but I all right. So, but the point is that when you're off just a little bit, the club face is open or closed just a little. That ball could be 75 yards off in the woods, or it could be over here in the lake. All right, on the left. So, but it's all just a little angle on the club head will do that. And so sales is the same way. If you don't set that call up right, by the end of the call, you'll be 40 feet over in the woods, or you'll be over on the other side in the lake because you didn't line up this call right. How do you line up this call right? How do you guarantee that you line up this call right every single time? How do you guarantee? Somebody throw an answer at me. How do I guarantee I start the call right every single time?
Well, if you set the agenda, because you're
Right,
Yes.
right,
taking
right.
charge.
Roadmap.
Yeah. Set the agenda, which is the roadmap, right? You got to set that roadmap. All right. So who else wants to role play with me today? Let's role play real estate some more. Let's do it a few more times, because I want you to have great phone calls this week. And I guarantee you, you will start having better phone calls when you are let me say that, because I think that is the most, here's what I think you should do in your business. You should come up with the most blatantly, ridiculously in your face, honest roadmap statement that you can for your call, for what you're selling, or for what your plan is. And you should include that into your calls starting today. Okay. When I say, I'm gonna say it again, the most honest, the most ridiculously, blatantly in your face, honest, transparent roadmap. You should write it down. You should write it down, or at least plan it out word for word in your mind. All right. Because your prospect is not getting this from your other competition. All right. They're not getting a very honest roadmap. What are they getting? We've already talked about it. Hey, how you doing? What's the weather like? Oh, wonderful, great. Oh, yeah. What do you think about this crazy real estate market? Blah, blah. Oh, are you a realtor? Oh, no, I'm not a realtor. Or, yep, I'm a realtor. You finally figured it out. I'm sneaking in on you. Okay, forget all that. What's the most honest, ridiculously transparent thing you can say about why you're calling? And I want you to say that first, right after your name. Hi, my name is Justin. You might have to say, my name is Justin with ABC Company, and ridiculous, honestly transparent statement coming right now. Boom. Okay, roadmap. All right. Does anybody have something in mind that they'd like to share? Maybe you want to test it. This is a ridiculously, honestly, blatant, in your face roadmap. This is the reason for my call. This is what I want to talk about. Okay. The reason for my call, what I want to talk about. Okay. And so I need to get permission to ask questions. Okay. Then you move on. So let's set the roadmap. How do we set the roadmap? Anybody got a ridiculously honest roadmap? How can you just be so blatantly, ridiculously honest? I already told you guys how I do it. Hey, my name is Justin. Yep, I'm the landlord investor that's been texting you about leasing the property for 12 to 18 months and purchasing it within that window. Does that ring a bell? Great. I was calling today because I'd like to talk to you about making an offer. That's about as most blatantly honest and to the point direct I can think. I can't get it into any fewer words in my mind.
What if you just pick up the phone, like say you find a FISBO or something like that on Craigslist, not Craigslist, or like Zillow, and you just kind of, you haven't actually texted them before. Do you approach it a little bit differently there? Or do you just kind of launch into it right away?
I would totally just 100% launch right in. Okay.
Okay.
Cold calling a listing off of Craigslist or Zillow for sale by owners or for rent by owners. Let's just role play that. I'll throw an example out there. Ring ring. Hey, this is Justin. I am a landlord investor. I just saw your property listing on Craigslist and I wanted to call you. Here comes the roadmap because I wanted to talk about the possibilities of renting the place for 12 to 18 months to allow us time to line up better financing. If we buy it within that time frame and we have a little bit of money down, is that something worth talking about? That's about as awesome of a compact as I can come up with on the fly. Okay. So take something like that, craft it down, remove all the unnecessary words and all the things that are confusing about it, and craft it into some real direct statement like that. And then go right in with it. Is that something worth discussing? Okay. Is that something we can talk about? If I were, maybe you just boil it down to a statement like this. Hey, Mr. Homeowner, my name is Justin. I'm a landlord investor. I saw your property on Craigslist. Is this something you would consider leasing short term and selling? Oh, let's say within a 12 to 18 month lease window. Okay, I don't know. Put it in your own words. Craft it down. Something really, because don't you want to know right away that this person's not interested? Don't you want to know right away? I would. You're going to get a lot of no's. Great. Get off the phone. Okay. Maybe have one backup question. Okay. but you're really wanting to get, that's the beauty of G.U.T.S.
Okay.
Because in G.U.T.S, how much time do we have? Okay. To qualify, to figure out, when I say qualify, what do I mean? To determine whether this is a motivated client or not, a motivated prospect. right? So how much time do I have in the guts model to figure this whole thing out? This is a mystery. 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
I don't have time for any other bull. Okay. I need to craft an introduction roadmap that gets right to the heart of my customer. Okay. Mr. Homeowner, I want to talk about making a full price offer today. Wow. I guarantee you he's never heard that, but you can say that in the lease purchase business, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Do you think he's interested now? More so than just, oh, hey, I'm an investor and I saw your house and I was calling because I wanted to ask you some stuff. Is that, hey, did you guys put a roof on there in the last few years? That's what your competition sounds like, y'all. Okay. What about you now? Hey, my name is Justin. I'm a landlord investor and I was calling because I saw your property on Zillow and I wanted to talk about making a full price offer today. That works really good if I've already texted them. Okay. Especially. All right. Especially if they've said, yeah, I'm open to a lease. That's really, really helpful. Okay. But nevertheless, direct and to the point. I like it. I like it a lot. You got 3 minutes to get in and get out or to decide that they are worth your time and spend more time. Do you have to spend the whole 3 minutes though, everybody? Is there a law that says that you have to spend 3 minutes?
No.
If I get on the phone with a guy and he says, if I say, hey, my name is Justin and I'm a landlord investor, I'm the guy that's been texting you about leasing the property for 12 to 18 months and purchasing it within that time frame. Do you notice how I say the same exact damn thing every time? Because I say it the same exact damn way every time. That's right. Because it's pretty good. Okay. It works for me. All right. I'm asking you to craft one for you. Okay. Yes, I'm the guy that's been texting. I'm the landlord investor been texting you about leasing the property for 12 to 18 months and purchasing the property within that time frame. Does that ring a bell? Oh, it does. Yeah, because we just did that 5 seconds ago. Of course it rings a bell. All right. So, sir, I wanted to call you because I saw your property on Zillow and I wanted to, I really was just calling because I wanted to talk about making a full price offer on the property today. Is that something that you have time to talk about? Oh, it is. Great. Can I ask you a few questions? Can you ask me a few? Sure. And if it's not a good fit, if you want to tell me no, that's fine at any time. Okay. Because I realize I might not be a good fit for you. Okay, great. Now I'm perfectly ready to go for a great conversation. Okay. Now I'm going to move into the rest of this conversation. But what if along this conversation, this guy says to me, hey, listen, bud, I'm not so sure this lease thing is going to work out for me. I didn't really understand the text. And I said yes to the text message, but now that we're talking and I understand what you're saying, it's not really going to fit. What am I going to do? What do I do?
Make him a cash offer.
Maybe I default to a cash offer. Okay, well, sir, let me ask you a question. If I were to pay all cash and close quickly, what would be the lowest amount you could take? Do you have a question pre-canned already to go to? If you don't, you better write one down. Okay. I'm going to do a class tonight live right here on the same YouTube channel and whatever, on my YouTube channel. I'm going to do a class tonight on the 5 different questions that you need to have memorized. Actually, there's 6, but you need to have 5 memorized in order to be able to, this is what do you ask for a subject to? What do you ask for a lease purchase? What do you ask for a wraparound? What do you ask? Okay. You got to have these canned. If you don't have these canned, what do you don't even know where to go next. Okay. So there's more to talk about, but love you guys. We got to wrap up. Set a roadmap. Write down a roadmap for your business, for your pitch. Write it down and make it the most honest, blatantly transparent, ridiculously in your face. And then try it today and see if it doesn't at least feel really good. Okay. And you're going to be getting no's right off the bat. Thank God. Thank God. You don't have to spend any more time with them than that. Okay. All right. Anybody got anything else they want to talk about or role play today? I'm sorry. I get so preachy, everybody, and everything, and nobody likes me anymore. And I'm just going to go eat some worms. Okay. All right. Anybody got anything else they want to talk about today?
What time is that class tonight, Justin?
I'm doing that class tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time.
Is
All
there
I'll
a
be
link
there.
for that?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Is there a link for that anywhere?
It'll just be on my YouTube and Facebook,
Perfect.
and so you can catch it live there, or you can probably catch a replay too. But I'm just really, it's going to be informal. It's going to take about an hour, and take some questions and stuff too. But really, we're just going to go over the different strategy types, like I said, subject to, wraparound. There's other creative finance, and then there's lease purchases, and there's options, and there's cash only. And so we're going to talk about those, and then like what are the questions that set these up? Because there's a question that sets each one up, and what is that? Wouldn't you wouldn't you like to know?
Hey, Justin, is the Zoom link, is that in the membership for the
Yeah.
Zoom link, the 10 to that class tonight?
I'm gonna put it in the chat room, bro, so you can hop right in there, man. I'll put it in the
Okay,
chat
cool.
room. Yep. Love you guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you later, I guess. Anybody got anything else? Joseph, love you, dude. Abigail, thank you for being here. Eric and Perez
Thank you
and
very
Jessica and Rashik and
pleasure.
Alexander. Say what?
My pleasure.
Thank you, Rashik. Big Sheik, love you, dude. We'll see you later, man.
All right. Much love, fam.
See you guys tonight. Bye bye.
All right. Bye-bye.